Hey folks, Slice here with Slice Gaming. It is SGA-1 versus DSVG, and this is War 12 podium battle for us. Currently sitting in third place, final war of the season. I've got Onslaught versus Korg, Node 6. I've had this fight before, so this is something that we've seen before. Nothing totally new or crazy. Combat deja vu, insurance policy, and spiked armor. As we've said before, Korg kind of plays into Onslaught's wheelhouse, I guess you could say. As you can see here, we're boosting up. I did want to test a couple things here going in last war. If you watched the videos, last war I died, and I felt like maybe if I had a power back boost, I wouldn't have ran into the same situation against that Zemo that I died on in the previous war. So I went ahead and threw it on here. That was a discussion me and the officers had. So I'm just kind of playing with it and seeing how that feeds back for Onslaught. But again, as you can see, you don't have to worry about anything with Korg. The hits are pretty basic because they don't make physical contact. The rock stacks don't matter. And again, this fight we've seen. So I'm going to tell you a little bit and kind of discuss our season as we go through this video. Season 46 was a great season for SGA-1. It was a very good one. And inside this war, as long as we don't die 20 plus times, we have wrapped up third at this point. So we know we've got third. It would be a miracle, a really tough deal for us to move up to second. PBT would have to actually lose. And we were tracking the score as this war went. And at this point, they had a pretty good lead. So we already kind of knew where we stood as this war was going. So sadly for us, it was a very slim outlook at being able to move up, and on top of it, pretty secure in our spot going into third place here. So secured our podium coming into this war basically. So this is our first season of the podium finish, which was exciting for us. So as you can see here, Korg just kind of melting to Onslaught. There's really nothing here that is very worrisome for Onslaught. So good, quick, easy fight. Good way to start the war. Unfortunately, that's about the only place it really goes well. So next fight, I've got Onslaught versus Doom. This works. It's a very doable fight. I just kind of really honestly play this badly. As you can see, we got aggression prowess, insurance policy, combat power, and critical setup. Basically, same finisher, guaranteed crit. So here we go. I go ahead and throw in an invuln boost. My time fighting Doom is fine. Sometimes I'll get into my own head, and in this fight, I really don't feel like I play bad, but I totally make some mistakes. Early on, doing fine. I'm pausing my debuffs. Definitely eat an L1 to the face. That was just terrible movement. Letting the shield drop here before I really get rolling on him, because even though I don't take damage from the shock still goes on Onslaught, so I can set myself up to be rocked by his lovely backhand. So I want to make sure that I keep that shock off of me as much as possible. Now, there is upside to having a shock on you. The biggest upside is that you naturally throw neurotoxin or neuro shocks on Doom from them. Every time you have a shock on you, you generate neuro shocks back on the opponent. So as you can see, just playing it slow. And I thought to myself, okay, I'll take my time. I'm going to make this work. One thing that I really ran into here is you'll see Doom was definitely getting his fair share of power. And the other problem that I had to keep in mind is I had to watch out for the prowess. My concern was that if I don't keep it down, even blocking or making a simple mistake, I'm going to chew through a lot of health, even on a block. So this is a situation where I was kind of stuck. As you can see, we're blocking, and that block, just with those, took out a good chunk of health and kind of leveled the playing field a little bit here. So I was a little concerned. Now you see we've pushed him almost back to the L2. There's the L1, and at this point I'm like, okay, we'll get some hits in, no shocks land. So I'm feeling pretty good. We're getting back almost up to an L2. And this is where I make my mistake. I accidentally push him, and I go to jump back. As you can see, I got clipped. I jumped back. I had done the same move the past 3 or 4 times, hit the block and jumping back. And as I go to jump back, he just launches the L2, and there's nothing I can do. I eat that, and I eat a death. So could I have played it differently? Absolutely. Could have played it better. So let's full heal. Let's get back in here. And at this point, I'm not going to lie, I was a little concerned because the power was the thing that drove me nuts. I felt like I was really constantly fighting, getting him to throw specials and keeping the power under control. There's that shock on me, and as you can see, the Neuro Shock are stacking up on him. So that's the only benefit about having that shock on me. Other than that, I ate an L1 to the face. Both fights starting off eating L1s, not exactly what I want to do. This time I did a better job of controlling the paralysis off of aggression, and as you can see, that means I can tank these specials a little bit better. I'm able to get back, hold my block, learn from my previous mistakes maybe, I guess. Let's go with that. I mean, it's super frustrating to see, but it is what it is. And at this point, I'm at a spot where I know he's dead. I just need to finish it off. And so Doom goes down, 1 death given to Doom, and semi-sloppy, semi-bad luck, getting caught backing up. So Iron Man versus Storm, node 27, Hazard Shift, Shock, Bleed, Power Focus 2. So before this fight goes, obviously we're dropping our Odins on there. You can see the 3 little triangle nodes next to the fight, stating that we've got pre-fights active during this. So we're going to go ahead, change our boost, throw up some power or some damage boost for tech, and get this thing rolling along with Power Start 1. So again, at this point, super frustrated about my death to Doom. I was kind of like, are you kidding me? But it is what it is. So after scrolling through, finding my boost, sorry about that, we get our Power Start 1 underway, and let's get this fight going. So again, this fight is pretty basic. Nothing really crazy here, thanks to the Odins. Iron Man is going to be able to swing away. You got to be mindful of just watching the overall stacks, but there's really nothing here crazy other than making sure you don't try to dex out of something and getting clipped like I have done in the past with this global. If you remember right, I gave up 2 deaths to Apocalypse in our war event, our war against KM SCA, and it was just simply overthinking, overmoving, and getting caught. So yeah, and as you can see here, the shocks really don't matter. And speaking of it, there I go with the dex in that first one. I got my intercept, so my taunts are running, which is a great thing, and we're going to get right back on it. So being able to dex out that second part, being able to get right back into it, works out great. And at this point, as you can see, the bleeds are stacking up, so I do have to be mindful of the bleed. I didn't want to totally put myself in a situation where if I get caught, I get slaughtered. So that was my big thing there. Even though technically, that's a lot of health, probably would have been fine. It was really about just playing safe and staying under control. So again, this is a season of control or nuke. And for myself, most of the season I felt good about it. That's a pretty quick, easy fight. OG Iron Man doing what he does, taking care of mutants during this excuse me, during this meta. So Onslaught, Nova 36, Hazard Shift, Shock, Bleed, 1 eye open, meaning don't hit them when they're stunned. Can't stun them. So obviously you don't want to throw the special 3 for Onslaught. Onslaught special 3 will land a stun, so stay away from that. So other than that, again, this node is super handy for Onslaught. You're actually going to heal from the node, and on top of it, I want to attack while shock is up as much as possible. Again, that just simply brings the Neuro Shocks a little bit faster if you can get a shock on you. So totally failed, but that's okay. We're going to get going here. Then you see the Neuro Shocks starting to stack up and landing our first L1. Now, the other big thing is, to me, Nova is perfect, other than I make that mistake once here. I think it's right here. Well, so as you can see, being able to bait this special 1, Nova gets in close enough, you're able to absolutely punish the special 1 with the heavy. And by doing that, you can pause all your debuffs, and as you can see, the Neuro Shocks are stacking up pretty heavy. We were up to 21, 22 there. And now activating the L2 turns that into degen, and Nova is just chipping away, and he melts. So good, quick, easy fight there. Other than getting clipped that one time, I felt good about that fight, and that's a good, it's kind of like Cord. He plays right into Onslaught's advantages. So Iron Man versus Apocalypse, Node 43, Incinerate, Shock, Aggression, Prowess, and injury, or insult to injury. So the big thing here, of course, is Iron Man is Incinerate immune. I'm still Shock semi-immune thanks to my own pre-fights. So we're in a spot where we feel pretty good about this. Apocalypse is a fight that really doesn't worry me or scare me. Taking him a couple times this season, outside of my stupidity on dodging the L1, I felt good about this fight. I've killed him many times, and my only death's really coming from terrible timing on trying to dex out of the L1. So I didn't really feel too concerned coming into this fight. And right there was my first clue that, okay, Sly, you're kind of being stupid. As you can see, I was way off on my timing, and I do it again, back-to-back times, and I eat another death to Apocalypse. That means Apocalypse has killed me 3 times this season, and none of them because of anything other than my own stupidity. Iron Man can block specials. Just hold the block, Sly. Just hold the block. You talk about this. We've talked about it on streams. Inside War, holding block, take your block damage and move on. There was nothing there to be worried about, and as you can see, that just makes this fight even harder. He now has 3 charges, can't parry. So now I have to play it, totally stunned and immune, which is totally fine. I don't mind that. It's just, oh, here, I have the easier shot. Let's make it just a little bit harder by doing stupid stuff. To say that I wasn't pissed at myself as I'm taking this fight is an understatement. I'm pretty sure I cussed myself 13 times, asked myself what the hell I was thinking, and questioned life's decisions many times over. So, as you can see here, I'm holding block, and the problem is for me against Apocalypse, that's going against my natural instinct. I'm used to dodging that first part. So for me, making that change it's muscle memory. It's discipline, it's muscle memory, and really it's a letdown to my teammates is what it is. It's a complete letdown that I can't just hold the freaking block button. So very, very pissed off at myself at this fight and my situation for the season here. Really, this is 3 deaths on me this season that should have never happened. But at the end of the day, we knew it was a win. There's our victory screen. As you can see, it's always fun to see that screen. And in return, that does lock down spot 3 for us, barring some weird, crazy event. So guaranteed spot 3. And as you can see, DSVG with 32 deaths to our defense, 11 deaths for us. And that was really about 5 too many. We kind of gave up some at the end that I think we probably normally wouldn't have gave up. So, and there you can see final rank for us is going to be Masters rank 3 as the season comes to a close. Great season for SGA-1. First time on the podium. We're super excited, and we're going to have some openings next season, so we'll see how some things go. We hope to continue climbing the ranks and having some more fun. So for those of you that watched and kept up with me this war season, I appreciate it. Till next time, take care, have fun, and as always, keep on gaming. Adios.